some time ago that I've talked about nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. Now, I posted a video on that called "I Live by the Bottle." The first video, unfortunately, I had my webcam volume on, and as well as my microphone on, so there was an echo, so it was difficult to hear. So I reposted it, and it's with additional information. Now, what happened was what happened was when I was 20, I was actually extremely stressed. My cortisol went to such a dangerous level. I actually fell into a coma, and during that coma, they actually thought, they told my parents, "Say your last goodbyes. This is it," and they actually thought, that would be it. I was gonna die, but thankfully, I ended up waking up. I can't remember exactly when. It was probably roughly 3 weeks after I'd fallen in, and the only thing that was really badly damaged was my kidneys. There was mild damage to my lungs and some reversal damage to other parts of my body, but my kidneys, unfortunately, it seems like it's irreversible damage, but not that it matters too much. So I did talk about how I drink roughly like 16 liters of fluid a day to stay alive, and the body tells you when you need to drink. So there, I had the video. I actually had posted this video. Like at the time, I didn't have very many subscribers, and I posted the video on a site which was like it was like a YouTube channel called Extraordinary People, and it was about this German. I think it was a German architect who had it, and he talked about how difficult it was to live with. And I kind of said it's not too difficult because your body always tells you when it's thirsty. And it's that whole interception thing that I've talked about with your eighth sense. Interoception. Your body tells you when you're thirsty, when you're hungry, all that sort of thing. And now, one thing I later admitted to is everybody perceives it differently. I know here in Alberta we have something called AISH. It's $16.85 a month plus benefits, and I think free bus passes, free leisure access pass, which gets you to gyms and things like that. But it's a very difficult process to get, and some people I've heard said, the system's so broken, it's such a difficult process. Some people who have so many disabilities can't get it, and then people who have fibromyalgia can get it. Now, one thing I gotta say is, I don't know how fibromyalgia affects somebody. With my, going back to this, with my nephrogenic diabetes insipidus, it doesn't affect me too much. Yes, I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. Yes, I have to go to the bathroom pretty frequently, but it's not as bad as I'd say most people for. And again, I'll have to backtrack to the fact that I've been on medication since I was 10. I was put on tricyclic antidepressant, and what was one of the side effects? Urinary retention. So naturally, my bladder learned to expand. So I can probably hold about 1.5 liters down there. Don't recommend, but my bladder can expand, and naturally, I'm lucky to live in a place like Canada where the water is actually good. I went on a trip to the Middle East, and the very unfortunate thing is, you have to either buy water, and then if you can't buy water, I only had I think $18 Canadian, so you have to use American dollars or their foreign currency, and unfortunately, I would boil the water and then I'd let it cool. That's how I'd survive. I just boil water constantly and pour it into cups and let it cool, and that's how I survived, because I didn't have money for water, and my dad didn't want to spend money for water, and the only time I got free drinks, like sodas or juice, was during meal times. So it was unfortunate, but when I remember, as soon as I went to Toronto, we had a layover in Toronto, and I of course went to Hockey Hall of Fame. I just nursed the water fountains, and yeah, that was wonderful. But yeah, I know this video is kind of all on tangent, and I tend to do that pretty often, but nonetheless, your body will always tries to tell you what it needs, with interoception. Of course, with people with SPD like myself, there is the issue that sometimes it gets overstimulated and sometimes it's too intense. But everybody perceives disabilities differently. Like somebody with fibromyalgia might not be able to work, and we can't judge how they are. With whatever. Some people say I'm very strong because I've never had to rely on government supports for a lot of things. Some people say that, and they say I don't know anybody who's got to go through that and not just broken down. And it's guess what? I call crisis lines every now and then. I have to talk to somebody every now and then. I may not have blood family members who support me, but I mean, I do have friends, and I have the church. So ultimately, like, perception is everything. Like, everybody suffers in this world. Like, some people are just better at hiding it. Some people just better at, you know, hiding it, or some people are just better at managing it until a certain point. In the end, we're all the same. Thanks for watching.